The president unveils a possible plan for funding a border wall with Mexico.
They are people just like you and me. They have families. They have children.
Residents and advocates push back today on a planned policy that could end a resettlement program in San Diego. And is it over? Local water officials say the drought is done, but the feds aren't so sure. KPBS Evening Edition starts right now. Good evening, and thanks for joining us. I'm Ebony Monet. The White House is floating a plan for building a wall on the border with Mexico. It's a 20% tax on Mexican imports. Mexico is this country's third largest trading partner, with more than $316 billion of goods and services imported by the U.S. in 2015. We exported just over $267 billion to Mexico, creating a trade deficit of about $49 billion.
If you tax that 50%, $50 billion at 20% of imports, which is, by the way, a practice that 160 other countries do. Right now, our country's policy is to tax exports and let imports flow freely in, which is ridiculous. But by doing it that way, we can do $10 billion a year and easily pay for the wall just through that mechanism alone.
Spicer says President Donald Trump has yet to make a final decision about how the U.S. will recoup the cost of his proposed border wall. Mexico's president reacted today to Trump's executive order to jumpstart the process of building the wall. Enrique Peña Nieto tweeted this morning he won't be attending a planned meeting next week with Trump. This hours after Trump tweeted the meeting should be canceled if Mexico won't pay for the proposed border wall. The Mexican president has said repeatedly his country will not pay for the wall proposed by Trump. Trump reiterated his position on strengthening the border today before GOP House and Senate lawmakers at their annual retreat.
We've put in place the first steps in our immigration plan, ordering the immediate construction of the border wall, putting an end to catch and release, expediting the removal of criminal this is so important to me. From day one, I've said it, and I mean the immediate removal of criminal aliens. They're going to be gone fast. And finally, at long last, cracking down on sanctuary cities.
Trump's sweeping immigration restrictions will have multinational implications. This is the assessment of USD's Trans-Border Institute director. Ev Mead says fortification of the U.S.-Mexico border has historically hurt trade and has had disastrous humanitarian consequences. Plus, most people here illegally don't arrive by land.
If you look at how people actually arrive in the United States, people who are not authorized to be here, a lot of them, in fact, recently a majority of them have been arriving at one of our 330 ports of entry, airports, arriving legally, and then overstaying a visa. So for the year 2015, the number of people who overstayed a visa was 50% higher than the number of people who were apprehended along the land border. So that's part of it, is, we focus on the land border because it's a symbolic thing. It's literally concrete, and, it's something that people can invest a lot of hopes and ideas in. But that's not the reality of the border. The border is our interface with the rest of the world. It's every airport in the United States. It's the Canadian border. It's the Gulf of Mexico. It's the Pacific Ocean. So the idea that, first, the idea that we're somehow in crisis on the border, I think, is not right. There are anecdotal crises. Central American children, for example, arriving unaccompanied in Texas, and certain other parts of the border. The tunnels here in San Diego, operated by drug cartels. But border-wide, and in terms of the broader history of the border's not in crisis, and that's in part why I think people in Mexico and elsewhere, and people who pay a lot of attention to the issue and the rights of migrants, find this to be a slap in the face.
Speaking of a slap in the face, Mexico's president has canceled his trip to the U.S. Can you tell me the significance of that?
I think he more or less had to do it. I don't think he really had a choice. I mean, even when he invited candidate Trump and candidate Clinton to visit Mexico during the campaign, he took a terrible amount of heat, and there was a significant bloodletting in the Mexican cabinet and in the diplomatic community that followed that. So I think it's politically impossible for him to go to Washington at a time when the president, our president, has said that Mexico will pay for this wall, period. Peña Nieto cannot agree to that. He is facing crises on multiple fronts in Mexico, political crises. His favorable opinion rating is at an all-time low. He just can't do it. It's not possible for him to do it. And this is really important for Americans to understand, too, because we talked about a lot of these policies, the border wall, the refugee policy, changing immigration policy, as if they operate in a vacuum, as if they only happen in the United States. But the thing is, they're not. This is a binational relationship, particular to Mexico in this case, where Mexico can respond. They can do things to American businesses and Americans in Mexico. They're a player here, and we should expect them to react. I don't think that's a good thing. I value binational relations. I think it's incredibly important for our region and the U.S. as a whole. I mean, there are 23 states in the United States that sell a majority of their exports to Mexico. We can't afford to lose that. But that's the reality right now. If we do these things that are very aggressive towards Mexico, they're going to respond. They really have no choice. They're elected officials.
Evmi, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
The head of Border Patrol is leaving effective next week. Mark Morgan has been with Customs and Border Protection since October. The Associated Press is reporting that Morgan was forced out. This comes a day after President Trump signed his executive orders to build a wall at the border and to add 5,000 Border Patrol agents. A rally in downtown San Diego today in support of the region's immigrants and refugees. KPBS City Heights reporter Darren Minto says they're all holding their breath over a draft order that would suspend the resettlement program.
President Donald Trump's orders would significantly reduce the number of refugees that would be allowed in the country this year. They would also halt the program for 120 days, and Syrian refugees would be banned indefinitely. Now, resettlement agencies like the International Rescue Committee here in City Heights helps resettle refugees. And the IRC's David Murphy was on hand today at a rally opposing the measures. He says he believes there's a lot of misconceptions about refugees.
They are people just like you and me. They have families. They have children. They are looking for a better opportunity in front of them. They have escaped the worst things that human beings have.
Now, this past federal fiscal year, more than 4,000 refugees were resettled in San Diego County. That includes nearly 800 refugees from Syria. One of them is Amar Kaukab. He says he believes that the proposal comes because many people don't know enough about what it's like to live in a war-torn country.
I want you to understand that the Syrian people is going through a very extremely harmful tragedy. And the people of Syria are waiting for the world to wake up and to take action to save them from this tragedy.
The United Nations says across the world, more than 65 million people have been forcibly displaced from their homes. Taryn Mento, KPBS News.
San Diego County water managers say the region's nearly 6-year drought is officially over. Now they're looking for state officials to agree. KPBS reporter Eric Anderson has the story.
The San Diego County Water Authority Board voted 25-0 with 8 abstentions to officially declare the region's drought over. Water officials say the heavy snowfall in the Sierra Nevadas, local rain, and wet weather along the Colorado River Basin have combined to end the drought. Dana Freehoff works for the San Diego County Water Authority. She says there is no water shortage here.
We are not in a shortage. We are not in a supply shortage situation. We have adequate supplies to meet demands, and we want to let our businesses know that and our community members know that we are not in a drought emergency here.
State officials eased mandatory water conservation targets for San Diego this past May. Since then, local officials got mandatory cutbacks lifted because they proved there was a 3-year supply of water for local customers. Now, federal officials see the drought differently. The U.S. Drought Monitor says the western part of San Diego County is still in severe drought, and the eastern part of the county suffers from moderate drought conditions.
The U.S. Drought Monitor comes out of Nebraska. It doesn't take into account the complexity of the state of California and the investments we've made in supply infrastructure and drought-resilient supplies.
Freehoff says the resolution announcing the end of the drought also calls on California to lift the statewide drought emergency. That executive declaration was the justification for mandated water conservation. San Diego water officials will make their case in front of the State Water Board next month, but they concede there's only a small chance the statewide declaration will be lifted. Eric Anderson, KPBS News.
It's going to cost more to get a University of California degree. For the first time in 7 years, the UC system has approved a tuition increase. The increase is about $300 per year. In-state undergrads currently pay about $12,000 in tuition and fees. Critics say the higher tuition would put too much burden on students already struggling to pay for their education. A controversial power plant slated to go up in Carlsbad is going to be late. The owner, NRG, says it won't be ready until the end of next year because legal challenges have held up construction. Ingrid Lobet with our media partner iNewsSource reports that's important because the ready date is how the project got approved in the first place.
Dave Knox, spokesman for NRG, confirms the new power plant that replaces this one will not be ready until late 2018. But he says it will be such a good match for renewables like solar, it's worth waiting for.
These units start very quickly. They also stop very quickly. So flip a switch. 10 minutes later, you're full speed and full power, and you're putting that power on the grid.
But Tom English, a veteran environmental engineer, likes the delay.
Well, I think it's great that it's not ready because it was a giant mistake in the first place. And so this gives you some time to correct the mistake.
iNewsSource also found the new Carlsbad plant will emit more pollution hour for hour than the design first proposed. But English says that's beside the point. He just wants to scrap the project.
So that's ridiculous that we're putting old-fashioned stuff that's that harmful and spending a lot of money on it. We can put up something much better that really does a good job.
Opponents say the region could have installed an array of batteries or other more climate-friendly power if there hadn't been such a tight deadline. For KPBS partner iNewsSource, I'm Ingrid Lobet.
A San Diego lab has created partially human pig embryos. KPBS science reporter David Wagner explores what that could mean for organ transplants.
For a new study published this week, researchers at the Salk Institute used human stem cells to create pig embryos containing a small number of human cells.
A pig embryo is about 4 weeks old and injected with the human iPS cells.
The experiments were not as successful as the lab's other attempts to grow rat organs in mice.
The red color here is the liver, and above it is the heart.
But Salk researcher Jun Woo says he and his colleagues did see some of the human cells starting to turn into the early stages of developing organ tissue.
We see the human cells become the precursor of the cardiomyocyte, the heart, and also the liver, the pancreas, and the gut. So the potential is there.
Creating human-animal hybrids has been seen by some as a potentially promising way to grow transplantable organs in animals to help human patients. But this research has also been the subject of ethical concern. Some worry about the possibility of creating animals with partially human brains.
And on the back, you can see the spinal cord.
Human cells were not found in the central nervous system of the early-stage embryos in this study, but Wu says he shares those concerns.
There's still a possibility that in the future studies that we can find the human cells in the brain of the pig at the early stages. That's why in this study, we only choose to stop the pregnancy at 3 to 4 weeks old.
Scientists not involved in the study told KPBS that researchers will need to continue exploring the basic science of creating human-animal hybrids for some time. But they said this study establishes important groundwork for developing new ways of meeting demand for organ transplants. David Wagner, KPBS News.
Macy's apparel store in Mission Valley is closing thanks to changes in the retail business. The store reflects an earlier era of shopping, as well as San Diego's architectural history. KPBS editor Tom Fudge has more.
The weather outside was soggy, but the message inside this Macy's was clear. Everything had to go. The first 2 floors were still full of merchandise, but the 3rd floor had already been hollowed out. This Macy's store shutting down in Mission Valley is one of 65 Macy's all around the country that are going to be closed down this year. The company says it needs to right-size its physical footprint.
I'm kind of sad to see it go because it's kind of been a landmark that I've seen for a long time, but I do think that, the sales need to be better.
Well, it does make me afraid for its future.
Darren Bradley is an architectural photographer and historian.
There's still a kind of a lack of appreciation for this design and for original elements that still exist out there.
He's not talking about shopping. He was talking about the building that housed the Mission Valley Macy's. Built in 1961, what was originally a May Company store was part of San Diego's first suburban shopping mall. It quickly followed the construction of I-8, put in place just a couple years before. Bradley describes the building as a jewel box with a unique texture.
But the design of the store is really quite striking. If you look at the cladding, which is basically the preformed concrete cladding that goes all the way around the building, and it's a very interesting pattern.
It's a modernist design that plays with light and shadow.
It's designed to look differently depending on the different time of day. So as the sun tracks across the sky, shadows will form, and you can see it looks quite different, and it's designed to grab attention, really.
The view from the freeway side, with the First Methodist Church just to the south, was part of a modernist landscape. But to shoppers, the architecture is secondary. Jennifer Clark says she's not surprised this Macy's is going away.
The stock's different than what's in Fashion Valley. It's a lot a bit older. More like, I think my grandmother would get stuff from there.
On the other hand, Sally Schofield regrets the closure. She blames online shopping for its loss of business, adding that she hates computers.
I like to feel the fabric, try things on, get up close and personal. I don't want to look at it on a picture.
Westfield, the company that runs Mission Valley Mall, has purchased the Macy's building. They say they are considering, quote, a range of possibilities for the elegant shell that has held Macy's. Tom Fudge, KPBS News.
It's cloudy tonight in San Diego, but don't worry, sunshine is back tomorrow. Shanae Shocker has tonight's forecast.
A look at our satellite and radar shows there's really not too much going on across Southern California. Not something we've seen in a while, it seems. Now, taking a look, you can see a lot of cloud cover inland, especially over the Great Basin area, even some snowfall in around Salt Lake City, out here into that region as well. But what we're looking at here is really not even just clouds, but definitely some denser fog. That's causing some poor air quality across much of the western regions of the U.S. Now, the good news for us here, because we have an area of high pressure, that's bringing an offshore flow here from Los Angeles into San Diego. So though we've been seeing cooler temperatures, we're going to start to warm back up as that marine layer exits the region. Across tonight, a satellite look over the last few hours, well, it hasn't really stirred up anything at all on the radar. So for tonight, we're looking at a starry sky as well, 45 degrees for our low. Now moving into the rest of the county, 38 degrees into Ramona and Alpine. We get even colder out towards Mount Laguna at 27 degrees. We're also picking up some winds here, so that real field temperature dropping us into the upper teens potentially. In Borrego Springs, 40 degrees, and then we climb our way up the coast, 38 for Oceanside. Once again, crystal clear skies across the board. For our Friday, this is our setup. Inland, we're looking 5 to 15 degrees below normal across much of the Four Corners. This area of high pressure bringing that offshore flow, that's causing some very windy conditions. Those Santa Ana winds returning especially for the mountains and into the deserts. This area of high pressure also stirring up some of that morning fog across much of the Intermountain region north. That is definitely decreasing air quality, and that also goes for the coastal foothills of the Sierras. For the coast, looking at our extended outlook, while we're warming back up Friday and Saturday, once those winds really pick up, or the breezier conditions here on the coast, not quite windy yet, we will see warmer temperatures heading into the latter half of our weekend. On Sunday, 70 degrees, 71 on our Monday, and we're back in the upper 60s, working our way into Tuesday. Inland, pretty much the same story here, climbing into the 70s, mid-70s by Sunday, and we're at 77 for Monday. So very nice weather here. Definitely going to be pretty hot for January, but we will take it. It is beautiful. Out in the mountains, this is where we start to see stronger Santa Ana winds pick up, especially Saturday morning. So gusty winds, especially, and even onto the foothill areas as well. Down trees, travel could be dangerous through the passes with the winds being this high. Sunday into Monday, things going to calm down, but we are warming up. Temperatures here in the mid to upper 50s and 59 degrees for Tuesday, with lots of sunshine in store for us. Out into the deserts, well, things are pretty calm here, though we are climbing in our temperatures back into the mid 70s. Overall, it's going to be a beautiful sunny week and very pleasant as well. For KPBS News, I'm Shanae Shocker.
I'm Judy Woodruff. On the next News Hour, part 2 of our look at faking normal. How many who appear middle class face fragile finances. That's Thursday on the PBS News Hour.
Where do you get your news? Hopefully right here. At Hoover High School in City Heights, students get it from the Nest. That stands for News Entertainment Student Television. And this week, student journalists behind the program got ready for their 50th show. KPBS City Heights reporter Taryn Minto takes us inside their newsroom.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good morning and welcome back to the Red Couch Conversations Hot Seat Edition.
17-year-old Drew Dang is taping an important segment for Hoover High School's internal weekly news show. The 50th episode is coming up, and his principal is on set for a one-on-one interview after some new school policies were announced.
Did the Hoover staff come up with the school policies or the school district?
So the staff was involved in a survey.
Dang is an anchor for the Nest. The title is a nod to the school's cardinal mascot.
This is where everything behind the scenes happens.
For this semester, the senior helps lead his class of 19 to produce the show. The roughly 12-minute program covers life at Hoover and in City Heights.
I am the anchor. I write the script for the anchors. I'm also the producer. I make sure everybody gets their packages done. I make sure everybody does their package. I also look at our clips, make sure they're all fine. Welcome back, Hoover Cardinals.
He also hosts the show's signature Red Couch Conversations.
Yeah, it's a lot of work in here.
A typical episode features a sports update, campus and news events coverage, an interview segment, a restaurant review, and a few interludes, like this promo for last month's holiday concert. Only 5 other schools in the district have a similar TV news show, says instructor John Michener. It launched at Hoover 2 years ago when voter-approved bonds helped fund a $2 million facility.
The goal is for Hoover students to produce something, accomplish something that is worthwhile, it makes them feel good at the end of the day, something they can be proud of, something that people from the outside look at Hoover and say, wow, you know, this school is doing some amazing work. I just knew them as, you know, sort of a bad school or something like that.
Labeled a low-performing school that serves a low-income area, Hoover hasn't always had a great reputation. Michener says the broadcast journalism program is helping to change that. Each semester, it offers a new group of students training in media and journalism that few high schoolers get the chance to experience. Last month, one Nest reporter interviewed Mayor Kevin Faulkner.
As mayor, that makes me so proud. I'm so proud of Hoover.
This month, a commercial produced by the students for San Diego Restaurant Week aired on local channels.
That's a real-world project. I don't know if we would have gotten those opportunities in the past if it wasn't for the Nest.
Michener says the skills learned in the deadline-driven atmosphere benefit students seeking a career in any field and helps them find new interests.
Hi, I'm Khadijah, and this is Hoover Sports.
Like volleyball player Khadijah Poo.
It's just something I've never done before, and watching the news sometimes is just like, oh wow, like how does it really put together?
She now plans to study journalism in college.
It should be in this week's Nest.
Dang says he's pleased to see his school getting some recognition.
My friends from other schools, they think it's cool that we have a new show, and they tell me how they want one at their school too. And it's nice knowing that, you know, people are actually envious of Hoover for once. It feels nice after 4 years of being told that Hoover is like ghetto or dangerous.
Michener says the program primarily focuses on positive stories, but isn't afraid to tackle tough subjects.
Last year we had the deputy district attorney coming in on our Red Couch segment talking about human trafficking and how it is a part of our community. It's here, it's sort of in the shadows, but it's affecting some of our students. We just don't necessarily see it out in the open.
Who can become a victim?
Really anybody. And sadly, San Diego is on the top 13 cities for child prostitution.
And it sparked a lot of conversation in classes, like that's really around us, you know, students asking their teachers about it. Created a lot of collaborative conversations, and you know, it was kind of a good awareness to what students are dealing with in this community.
This year, Dang says his crew is also tackling a heavy subject.
Recently, I've given packages out just as child abuse, which is a really sensitive topic, but it's something that needs to be talked about.
2 students who suffer abuse in their home sat for interviews on the show. Their faces and voices will be distorted for the TV audience, but they trusted the Nest reporters with their true identities.
He got really, really physical, and he choked me until I bled.
However, on Monday, a new semester starts and a new group of students takes over.
And we're out of time.
Taryn Mento, KPBS News.
The Nest 50th episode premiered yesterday. You can watch it as well as past episodes of The Nest at KPBS.org. Now, here's a look at what we're working on for tomorrow in the KPBS newsroom. On Morning Edition, a gift of $3 million is going to help homeless struggling with addiction. And volunteers will fan out across San Diego tomorrow morning, counting the homeless. On Midday Edition, we'll talk with the executive director of the Regional Task Force on the Homeless. You can find tonight's stories on our website, kpbs.org/evening edition. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night.